Welcome back to the channel. I'm Ashley Tess, and in this video, we're going to talk about how you can work from home and start teaching online. Let's get started. Make sure you stay to the end so you can learn the most and learn the most profitable way where you can work from home and teach online. Let's jump in. So we all want to start working from home, teach in our pajamas, lay on the couch, work from your home computer. But first, you need to decide what you want to teach, what platform you want to teach with, and how you want to market yourself when you're trying to find a job where you can teach from home. And the fastest way you could do this would be to teach English online. And I know many of you heard of this before. Many of you have seen the commercials, you've seen the ads, you've seen how you can teach English online from your home. And honestly, it is a great way for you to start making money, to be able to teach from home. And I wanted to share a list in particular of some of the companies that you may not have heard of before. And I wanted to share a little bit about the process, about how it works, a little bit about the pay. And so let's get started with talking about how to get started with teaching online with ESL jobs. So let's talk about the list of some ESL companies in particular, and don't worry, I'm going to put a link in the description of all these companies in general, and maybe I might have missed some right now, so I'm going to make a list down below of different ESL companies you can work for. But for example, there is usually VIP Kid. That's one of the most popular ones that I'm sure you guys have heard of, but there's other ones that you may not have heard of. Maybe there is Dada ABC, Say ABC, Magic Ears, Go Go Kid, there's something, Wales English, there's 51 Talk, and I'm gonna also link below down some more companies, but those were some in particular that you may not have heard of. But I wanted to talk a little bit about the process of getting started with teaching ESL online. And in particular, most of those companies, you are going to be teaching children from other places, and usually the majority of them are students from China. So you are most likely going to be waking up really early in the morning, especially if you are on the West Coast in the United States. But this can be a job for anyone that speaks English, even if you are someone that speaks English. Maybe you're living abroad, maybe you're living in Thailand, or maybe you live in Australia or South Africa. I know a lot of these companies still hire English-speaking teachers, even if they do not live in an English-speaking country. So a lot of these, you do have to look at the requirements. But usually how it works is that you start off with applying with your education, your English level, your schooling, and you would talk about your resume. You go through a different process, and then someone usually reaches out to you to ask to do a demo lesson. And usually they should give you either like a PowerPoint or the materials for you to look at before you do a demo lesson for someone. And you should study that material, the PowerPoint, as much as you can. Look up on YouTube in particular reviews how to do the demo lessons for the company that you choose, and look for all those pointers that you can to master that interview. And a lot of these companies, you have to do a demo lesson, and a lot of them you have to do maybe a trial lesson with children, where they observe you, how you interact with them, and how you teach to see if they like it. Also, I wanted to share, a lot of these companies, you can either have it one-on-one tutoring, or you can do tutoring with teaching ESL with groups of kids. Usually it's between 1 student to 4 students. And most of them are pretty interactive with either PowerPoints or different websites where you can click on things, or different songs, different animations. So I know that that is really good for the students to be interacting when they're trying to learn English. So the pay range with teaching ESL online can give or take between $14 an hour to about $25 an hour. Usually these companies also give you bonuses, maybe like $1 or $2 an hour for different things that they look for, like showing up on time, having your materials ready, ending the class on time. I know they do different bonuses for certain things. So that is usually the range for these companies with teaching ESL online. So what if you still want to teach English online, but maybe you don't really want to teach little kids, and maybe you don't really want to commit to a certain schedule while teaching ESL online? So I have a different website and resource for you. This website is called Cambly.com, and I will put a link to that down below as well. And with Cambly.com, it's kind of like an on-demand English tutoring website. And what I mean by that is that you make a profile, and you kind of choose when you're available. You go to your profile and you can click a button, and you could say, I'm available now, I can start taking students, or I'm busy, and you would turn that button off. And when you turn that button on, when you're ready to start tutoring students, you can start tutoring adults, usually from anywhere around the world. It's kind of like a rotating video type tutoring thing, where a video pops up, someone from a different country that's trying to learn English pops up, and you just have a conversation with them, trying to help them with their conversational English skills. Or maybe if there is something that they are trying to learn, they will tell you, and you can practice that skill that they're trying to learn. Or if you feel stuck, usually they do have resources included on the webpage where you are talking to that person with practicing their English. And usually you kind of teach them and interact with them for about, I want to say 5 minutes. I could be wrong. If you do know that answer, how long you interact with them, you could put that in the comments below, but I apologize. I believe it's about 5 minutes, and you interact with them, you practice their conversation skills, and then the time will end, 5 minutes is up, and the next person from a different country pops up, and you can just practice English with them. You can do, sometimes they have games and resources you can do as well with that person. And say you don't really want to be on camera, or they don't want to be on camera, there is options for them where they can turn off their camera and you could turn off your camera, so you don't have to see them, but you could still practice their English with each other. Say you did really connect with a person that you are working with, someone from a different country, and you guys really connected, you guys can plan and choose different tutoring days to reconnect. After the 5 minutes goes up, you can say if you wanted to let them have your contact info, and they can schedule different times in your availability to schedule tutoring sessions with you. So I think that is kind of cool if you want to have students to teach regularly. You don't have to if you don't want, but that is something that is kind of cool if you want to interact with people from other countries. So you might ask, what is the pay for Cambly.com? And with Cambly.com, honestly, you don't get paid that much. You kind of get paid by the minute that you interact with a person. There's kind of a timer, and it tells you, I believe, I'm not going to say an amount per minute because I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's you get paid per minute, and it usually averages about to $10 an hour, which isn't the best, but it's not bad, where you can still earn money and interact with someone from around the world, and kind of do it whenever you're available. So maybe you're just sitting on the couch and you're not sure, okay, I don't feel like going anywhere, but I still have time, where you can make money and you can turn that button on where you are available to start tutoring someone from a different country. So that is how Cambly.com works. Pardon the interruption, but if you are enjoying this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe to that channel down below. My channel is about making money online, affiliate marketing, different tips and tricks for you to be successful while you are working from home. But let's continue. So, what if you're trying to book your own clients, plan when you want to tutor, find your own your tutees, your own people that you want to tutor by yourself, and you don't want a company kind of in between all of that. You want it to just be you and the student you are trying to tutor. Well, there are a couple companies that you can tutor and book with your own. When there's a couple there's a couple job boards where people post their jobs, who they're looking for. They post the range of pay that they're willing to pay, where you can apply to be their tutor. And these websites would be Dave's ESL Cafe, so eslcafe.com, and upwork.com. These two websites usually have job boards where people post jobs, usually, especially with ESL, and you can click on these jobs to find if you like any of them. You can reach out to them, you can message them, and you can usually have your own private tutors if you want to tutor them using your own Skype or using Zoom. And that's how you can have your private clients without any middleman in between. So if you don't want to teach ESL and you still want to teach online, stay tuned. I have resources coming up for you in just a moment. But if you still want to teach ESL and you don't want to show your face, there are a couple websites where you can just do audio lessons and you don't have to be on camera. You can just sit in your pajamas, use your computer, or sometimes they're a phone website where it's audio only and you still teach students English. And the audio only website is called teachinggo.com, and it's audio only. I believe it's on the computer. And I know there are a couple other companies that have where you can use a phone line to teach ESL without showing your face, and you're just using your voice. So if you are someone that's still trying to teach online, but you are not necessarily trying to teach ESL, I have some resources for you right now. So you want to teach online, but you don't want to teach ESL. There are plenty of websites out there. You could do a Google search, but I'm going to put a list down below. But there are plenty of websites where normally you can just make a profile about yourself. You can include what areas that you teach, that you tutor in. You normally include your availability, when you can tutor and teach someone. And then you can put the pay rate that you are looking for to get paid. And there's plenty of platforms where you can teach online in certain subjects. Usually there's a lot with math. So if you are a mathematician, there are a lot of websites where you can teach math in particular, starting from like elementary to even the college level. And if you're really good in math, there's plenty of websites you could do. But if you don't want to teach math, there's other websites that you can teach virtually any subject, especially a lot with K6 has a lot, but also middle school, high school, you can teach various subjects as well. But there's websites like tutor.com, schooly.com, wisnet.com, varsitytutors.com, and I believe there's a couple more, but I will put a list down below of different websites where they're just different platforms, and you can you could choose the subjects and the areas you are available to tutor and teach in. You make a profile. Sometimes there's different jobs posted and you can reach out to them. They can reach out to you. and then you can start teaching online as well. Are you ready for my most profitable way to start working from home and teaching online? That would be to make your own course and start selling your own resources. Making your own course is virtually the most profitable thing that you could really start doing. And you might think, okay, well, it might take a long time to make, it might take a long time for people to find you, and that could be true, give or take, but the long run effects is virtually just amazing. Say you make a course and you sell it for $10 and 100 people buy it, 200 people buy it, times that by 10, times that by 100. Over a period of time, that is a lot of money. And maybe you want to make a course, and you can really make a course about anything that you are knowledgeable with. You can make it on crafts. You can do it with teaching. Maybe it's a subject you know a lot about. Make your own course and you can sell it. You could sell resources with it. You can have a monthly subscription to a website, monthly subscription to your course, to your videos. And that's virtually how so many people are making a ton of money with it. And maybe you're like, well, how do you even get started making your own course? Well, there's a lot of websites where you can, I shouldn't say a lot, but there are a couple of websites you can use to start making your own course. You can start recording yourself, making your own resources. And those would be udemy.com, and Skillshare.com. These two websites in particular, you can make your own courses and sell them on their platform. So maybe you're not really good with marketing or making your own website to market that on. You can make your course and still sell it on those websites where those websites gets a lot of eyeballs, and you can start making profit with selling your own courses and resources with. But maybe you are very techy, and maybe you can make your own website. Maybe you are good at marketing and you could start marketing your own course yourself. So that is the most profitable way you can start working from home, teaching online. If you have found a value in this video, make sure you give it a like. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button down below so you can learn more about making money online, working from home, different tips and tricks for you to be successful. And if you are interested in learning more about the long term about making money online, there is another description in there's another link in the description box down below. It should be the first one. Make sure you click that button so you can learn more about making money online.